What's going on, everybody? This is DKDYNAMITE, and today we received some information that I don't think anyone expected, but Treyarch will be back sooner than we thought. So apparently Black Ops 5 is going to be Call of Duty 2020. So the breaking news today from Kotaku was that Sledgehammer Games and Raven will be supporting Treyarch on developing Call of Duty 2020. Now the Black Ops 5 campaign is supposed to be Cold War based. Now Raven Software was initially assigned to be the lead development studio for 2020 with Sledgehammer Games supporting them. Now this week apparently Activision changed course and now assigned Treyarch into making Black Ops 5 for 2020. So this would be the first Call of Duty since 2013, 2014, since we've had a Call of Duty developed under a 2-year development cycle, which is pretty insane. Now Kotaku reports that the reason why Call of Duty 2020 is a mess is because of major tension between Raven Software and Sledgehammer Games. The 2020 game was quote-unquote a big mess. Now Activision then put Treyarch in charge of that game, while Kotaku also reports that Activision executives have discussed including a free-to-play component for this year's new Modern Warfare game. Now they've also stated that Sledgehammer Games and Raven were working on a Cold War-based Call of Duty for 2020, and what they've been working on will be transformed into the single-player campaign for a Black Ops 5, which is honestly pretty damn surprising. Once again, the first Call of Duty game to be released under a 2-year development cycle since exactly 2014, and the last 2-year development cycle Call of Duty game from Treyarch was Black Ops 2. So Kotaku also mentioned here that they will also have more articles in the coming weeks about what happened at Treyarch during Black Ops 4's development, and they'll keep us updated with more information. Now it's also been reported that Sledgehammer Games has been losing a lot of developers over the last year, and many have been recruited to work with Michael Condrey at his new studio with 2K. So that is a lot to digest, and I think it's been a pretty hectic couple of weeks with the fact that there hasn't been much information about Call of Duty 2019 or Modern Warfare 4, which Kotaku indirectly just confirmed today. And it's also been crazy with how much Call of Duty mobile information there's been about how to download it, some new information on some of the game modes, how massive it's going to be for all mobile platforms. There's a lot that's been happening on top of all the development issues that Black Ops 4 has had. And once again, people who are wondering whether or not Treyarch can somehow clutch Call of Duty 2020 in an even shorter time frame than they had with Black Ops 4, I think the answer is quite simple. Not only are they kind of picking up what Sledgehammer Games and Raven have already started with that Cold War campaign, but they also have the full support of both of those studios behind their back, which to me obviously means that the game's going to be pretty well polished, but also means that they don't need an additional year to actually finish the game. So I think this is the right move. I think everybody kind of wants all the studios to come together and make one big Call of Duty that gets updated for several years instead of having this yearly release, which doesn't seem to be working anymore according to the changing industry. But in terms of the development issues behind Black Ops 4, the fact that Kotaku is putting together some more stories and articles about that situation is quite interesting, because it'll either discredit or completely add to the little story we got from the fired QA tester who reported that Black Ops 4's development was a complete mess. But it does seem like this development for Call of Duty 2020 seems to be a little more organized. As I said, Treyarch has support from Raven and Sledgehammer, which together, all combined, makes a pretty big team for just one Call of Duty. So it's unclear how the Call of Duty 2-year or 3-year development cycle will look after Call of Duty 2020, but needless to say, I'm pretty excited for another Treyarch release. But unfortunately, what this could mean is that all of the plans for a potential second season pass or a season 2 for Black Ops 4 are probably going to be scrapped or put on hold, and all that content will just be saved for the next Call of Duty in 2020. So whether or not you're disappointed about that, just keep in mind it won't be too long before Treyarch has to reveal yet another Call of Duty, which will probably be focused just on the Chaos storyline for zombies, since if plans are kept coordinated, it seems like the Ether storyline will be ending after DLC 4. But there's a lot of weird stuff going on behind the scenes, a lot of business, a lot of changes. I have no idea what this means for the future of Call of Duty, but it definitely seems like Call of Duty development is a complete mess at the moment, and for all leaks that are being spread out there about upcoming content, everything is changing. Agendas are changing. Leaks may no longer be accurate, and that's perfectly fine. That's how the Call of Duty industry works. With these development cycles, with these publishers, with these shareholders, there's so much changing on a daily basis. But in terms of the campaign being set in the Cold War, this could mean that Black Ops 5 is a potential prequel to Black Ops 1, or maybe filling in gaps in between Black Ops 1 and 2, which to me would be quite interesting. It'd be nice to see what Mason was doing for those 30 years in between Black Ops 1 and 2. So they may end up going that route just to be nostalgic, just to bring people back who may have left the Black Ops franchise after 3 or 4, since it really wasn't too well connected to Black Ops 1 and 2 as a whole. But it's definitely going with something that people have been wanting for years, another Cold War or Vietnam Call of Duty, which I think is going to work just fine, especially with the support from Sledgehammer Games and Raven. So the game is definitely going to be massive, and in terms of what that free-to-play component was for the new Modern Warfare game, I have to assume that whatever the new co-op experience will be, let it be Extinction 2.0, a little Battle Royale, whatever that might end up being, will somehow incorporate some free-to-play mechanics, which don't necessarily require a season pass to continuously update for yourself over the course of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 in 2019. So it might just mean that you don't have to have a season pass to continuously update whatever that new co-op mode may be. But let me know what you think of all this down below in the comments section. Some pretty unexpected news here today. But this has been DKDYNAMITE. Be sure to check all links down below in the description, and peace out, everyone.